And you got a change at halfback there. What's the situation with Tate? Is he fit, and sort of why have you promoted Nic?
Yeah, well, he's available. He's obviously on the bench. We took him off at half time based on injury. He tried to clear a kick and collected Itzebeth at the same time. Got a bit of a knock on his shin, which made it difficult for him to run. So he had his first day back running yesterday. And he's ready to go. Look, as I've mentioned before, we're pretty fortunate around the depth of our nines. We reckon we've got 4 high-quality nines here. Tate's been excellent. And we think that Whitey's been really strong off the bench the last couple of games. And we think it's a good mix. The quality of Whitey's skill set early and Tate's ability to break up a game against tiring forwards. So that's the thinking.
With Quade obviously starting a game, where does that leave James's position? Do you feel you've got more versatility on the bench with guys like Hodge and Pattaya?
Yeah, I mean, the original plan, as we did with Quade, we gave Quade a hit out against the Force the week before that test, just to get him some footy, and we did have a game jacked up against the Argentinians for this Friday to give all our squad a run and obviously give James a decent hit out, and unfortunately that game's now fallen through. The thinking was get James some footy, but he's really good nick. He looks sharp, we're pretty confident he'll be ready to go next week.
Do you see a possibility of being able to include both James and Quade in the same squad, or potentially the same 15 even?
Yeah.
Just on Quade, it proved to be a pretty inspired decision last week. Does that give you confidence not only in your own selection, the selection group, but just as an international coach? Like, you're only in your second year, and it was a big call and it paid off. So does that give you confidence going forward that you know that you've backed yourself and you've done it?
Yeah, I've been around a while, Christy. So I've made lots of decisions over a lot of years, and it's a group thing. We get the luxury of, it's not just what they do on game day, but it's the way they're training and the way they're preparing, and we were really confident that Quade was ready to go, and I did say we considered playing him the week before, but we just felt he needed some footy and get a decent hit out and tidy up a couple of little bits about his game, and I think that gave him confidence heading into that test last week. So yeah, I think we're not scared of making courageous decisions. You look at a guy like Lenny Cattell. When we bought him in last year, he played about 12 minutes of Super Rugby, but we saw something in him. We knew in our environment, and then he went back to the Brumbies, has worked really hard, and now he's dominating the 13 jersey. So I think we've got to back ourselves. We think it's the right person, and like I said, it's based on everything we're seeing that maybe Joe Public doesn't get to see.
Guys, Sean in the room here is just going to ask you a couple.
Dave, just getting back to James O'Connor, you say he's looking good, but do you just want a bit more mileage in his legs for next week, just to bring him up to speed?
Yeah, look, we wanted to reward the guys who performed last week. This is the best I've seen James. He's probably, even through Super Rugby, never did a lot of high-speed meters. We want him to be able to be a genuine threat at 10. If space opens up, that he can attack. And he ended up injuring a groin, in preparation for the French tests. And so he's worked extremely hard. He looks really sharp. Like I say, we were keen to get some footy into him. But he'd be a strong contender for next week.
Okay, and then Quade on the team together, is he looking at that possibility? And if so, what does that cites a lot of people?
Yeah, look, we'll see how we go this weekend. All decisions will be made on form and what's best for the group, the combinations and complementary skill sets. So, we feel we can definitely play both those guys in the same 23.
And that will bring plenty of attackers and a lot of X factor?
Well, it certainly brings a lot of experience. James, like Quade, we've got a lot of test footy under his belt. And as I said last year, he was really impressive in our environment. He's a cool head. You see the influence he has on the Reds. Got a really good understanding, a strong game awareness, and to have someone like James come back in the fold would be gold for us.
Okay, just one last one. Just James Slipper, Gold Coast consumption, back in the starting lineup, but he's been there all mostly, hasn't he?
Yeah, we see him as our best option at Loosehead. We tried to freshen him up a little bit last week, so he trained less. We were really confident that Bally would do a job at scrum time. And the Africans generally bring on their strongest scrummers in the second half, so I thought Slips did a really good job around that. But he's obviously back and he's very experienced, and it's going to be important early in the game.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, just on Dave, you mentioned there that South Africans often bring their strongest scrummages on second half. Tom Robertson traditionally has played a lot more loose head. What gives you confidence that he can come on at tight head and hold up that set piece, or maybe even give a bit of dominance, which helped you at the back end of that game on Sunday?
Just based on what we've seen. Obviously, Allen's left the squad. Ponifa Masili's still injured. We did consider using James Slipper there, who's played a fair bit of tight head and played a couple of games at tight head for the Brumbies this year. Tom's been excellent. He's slotted in really well. He's worked really hard over. We bought him in just after the French series, so he's been impressive, and he's certainly scrummed on both sides for us over the last 4 weeks, and we're confident he can do a job.
Morning, Dave. There was 3 line-out maul tries conceded on Sunday night. What have you done this week to shore that area up?
Can't tell you, Jeff, but
in general terms.
It's certainly been a focus, and there's a couple of things we got wrong. System errors where we think we've got a system that when we get it right, we'll be able to nullify them all, and we did a good job on a number of occasions, but discipline's the key. We gave away 18 penalties. If they're not kicking for goal, they can put you in the corner, and if you give them enough cracks down there, they're going to hurt you. So we've got to limit their opportunities to more.
So just on that discipline question then, was there much consideration to starting Tupou with hooker?
There's consideration every week on all positions. We weren't happy with the fact that Falau, he got sin-binned for tackling with his arms, but there were a couple of other occasions as well. So, and that's not like him. He's a chop tackler, but he's generally got his arms up, and so anyway, we've had discussions around that. That can't happen. Outside of that, he played really well, so we're happy with the mix.
Can I just get one in on the increased focus on video reviews and whatnot? They've been quite time-consuming. There's been sort of mixed reviews from fans and people alike. I mean, what's your thoughts? You just want to get it right in the end, or do you see it's a bit painstaking as well?
When you say reviews, you mean
the video reviews when they referees stop and they talk to the bunker basically. Takes a long time.
Yeah, that does take a long time. And you're right, you want to get decisions that are accurate. I guess it's just a part of our game at the moment. Are there ways of streamlining that? Probably, but I think even in the weekend, Luke had Matt up in the box, and he's feeding stuff into him, and some of it's just play on. He might have queried something. I like that system where you're asking questions on the run to keep the game flowing. We certainly want to play a game that's high tempo, and the less stoppages the better.
Hey Dave, is this a chance for Taniela to show that he could start, or do you still think that he's best suited off the bench? Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of time with Allen out of the group.
Oh, look, no, we know he can start. I think, what we like about Allen is his work ethic and his detail. Good scrummager, maybe not as destructive as Taniela, but excellent mauler and excellent defensive mauler. It's been a good mix for us, and Taniela's dominance late in the game has paid dividends in Test matches, but you look for the Reds. He's playing 80 minutes for them, and so we're confident we can get a lot of mileage out of him tomorrow, and it's a good opportunity for him to remind us of what he can do from the start.
And just a left field one, Dave, there was a report in the North Up about World Rugby considering World Cups every 2 years as opposed to 4. Obviously, it's talk at this point. Fan or not a fan if that was to come in?
It's the first I've heard about it. So what would be the same size tournament every second year?
I think that's a question for you, Tom.
Sorry, your internet just cut out there. I missed that.
Oh, no, I'm saying would it be the same size tournament every year? So every second year, like a.
Yeah, just increasing the regularity of it. I would assume the same amount of teams as well.
It'd be like having the Olympics every second year, wouldn't it? Maybe a bit over the top.
Dave, Sean McMahon, is he now part of the group? How's he looking? Is he a possibility? He was probably unlikely always this week, but when do you think he might be able to come back and potentially play?
He joined us on Tuesday. JP, our trainer, put him through a pretty tough workout yesterday, which, he was really impressive. He's in fantastic condition, as Sean always is. Like JP, his report was he reckoned he'd be the fittest in this team. That's how good he is. He's 2 weeks in quarantine. JP turned his room into a gym, so he's pretty much been living in a gym for the last couple of weeks, and so he's come out really good. He's certainly a consideration for next week.
What does he, Dave? What does he potentially provide that isn't available to you at the moment?
I think, with someone like Sean, and you guys would have seen him play a lot of footy, incredibly destructive defensively, so very physical, but an excellent skill set, and then a dynamic athlete. He's just a high quality player that is a real point of difference, we think. And so, it's a real pity because he played a lot of tests and left at such a young age. I think Australian fans have missed out, watching him play a lot of test footy, and so fantastic to have him in the group. He's been really impressive. He's, as I talked about the last couple of weeks, working hard in the isolated gym, but he's also done a lot of study around our structures, and he's been able to come out and hit the ground running, which has been really impressive.